Hello, I am Sarah with Sew Live, and welcome back to another Friday Sews. So this week I'm going to show you the progress on my Dawn jeans because I'm totally smitten. I think they're turning out really great and I'm pretty excited. And I made a decision on my Serger and Coverstitch, and they've already arrived. Like, I don't even know how that happens. It said next day air on the box, and I didn't even select that. So someone knows that once I made my decision, I wanted it quick. So I'm going to show you that as well. So that's what's coming up on my Friday Sews. So like I mentioned last Friday, I am sewing the Dawn jeans this week. We started with a fitting video on Saturday, and I primarily talked about what I'm looking for when I'm fitting things, and I did give a lot of tips, and I showed some, before pictures of my jeans muslin and prototype on me, and then I talked about the different types of things that you would do to fit them. But I talked a lot about what you're looking for and what you're trying to achieve with that, rather than focusing on, do I need such and such adjustment? You might need the full tummy adjustment or the low seat, whatever. It doesn't, that's great, you can use that, but you don't have to have one of those prescribed fit things in order to fit your jeans. You just may need to fit your jeans because maybe your torso is a little longer than the pattern or shorter than the pattern, or your seat sits lower or higher, or whatever it is. I definitely have some really interesting things going on my backside. I'm very short-waisted and my hips tilt backwards. So there's some really interesting things that I deal with. And I think what I really got the most out of for that is I really want to figure out how to best display how to make those adjustments. I don't have a pants dress form, and they're not as easy to come by, and I really don't want to spend a couple $1,000s on one just for, a few pants fitting streams. So I need to be creative about that. And there's a lot of really great videos out there on fitting jeans and pants and trousers and things like that. Lots of great resources. And I felt like a lot of them were lacking that after picture. So you had the before picture, and then you had the adjustments they made, and then there wasn't an after picture sometimes. This is what you do for this, but no after picture. That's all great information, but sometimes it doesn't work, and so you need to kind of troubleshoot and why that is, and that's why I say if you have a full seat and the full seat adjustment doesn't work for you, that's okay. You can figure out something else. So I think I've done lots of fitting things before, jeans and pants sewing and any kinds of garments, but this time I feel like I'm getting closer and closer into figuring out the language I need to use. So that's my own little personal discovery of how to convey information in a way that makes sense and is really clear. So I really like that kind of inspiration. When you're kind of nervous to do something, the best way to get really familiar with it is to try and teach it. And I think that holds true for the jeans fitting. I know how to do it for me. I know how to do it for someone else if they're standing here, but telling you through a video is a whole different ball game. So, and there's plenty of people out there doing it and doing a great job at it too. So, all right, well, want to see my Dawn jeans? They're looking so cute. So I'm using this mustard denim. This whole kit was from Needle Sharp. I don't know if you guys have heard of that subscription box company. This wasn't one of the monthly boxes, but I have seen these in the monthly box. And so it came with the pattern, the fabric, everything you need. It's great for people who are a little nervous about picking out fabric because you're going to get the absolute perfect fabric for the pattern you're sewing, and there's tons of options and different levels. This was just one of the extra boxes I got. A gift certificate for my birthday last year from my mom, and so I bought the Dawn jeans with it and some of her extra fabrics because she sells extra fabric as well. So it came with top stitch thread, but I kind of really wanted cream, and so I decided to use 2 strands of thread in my upper needle and stuff. Well, upper needle, that kind of conveys like I have a lower needle, but I don't. So I just threaded the top of my machine with 2 threads and went through the needle with 2 threads. You can see here, it's still threaded. So you can see I have this cone and I have this cone here. This is the regular one, and they're both coming through here. and just going through my needle. I'm using a size 18 needle, hoping for a bigger eye, and I'm sewing denim, so that's a good idea anyway with my machine. And it's turning out great. And so I decided right before I went live, what am I going to stitch in my pockets? I didn't even think about that. And so I thought, well, because we keep calling these mustard, someone else calls it marmalade, which I think is really cute. I thought, what about the mustard plant? Let's see what the mustard flower, is it something I can draw and thread? I mean, does it look like the mustard flower? Maybe. Kind of, maybe right before they open. And I've been taking these YouTube drawing classes from Sarah Watts, who's a fabric designer, and she's got this flower series going right now, and so I was kind of inspired by that as well. So that was kind of a good combination of things I'm doing. And then here's my other pocket. I did leaves. It's supposed to look like the leaf turning up. You know, you can see where I almost got there, but it was so spontaneous. I'm super proud of it, and I love how they're turning out. So, and then I have this piece of Liberty ribbon that's going to go on the waistband, but I'm kind of liking it pinned right there for now, just so I can see it and gaze at it. And then here's my fronts. I have, you know, the standard jean pockets. And here's my coin pocket. And then I'm using that fabric I designed, but it has pockets. Of course it does. I designed it primarily for this project because I really wanted this mustard little thing. It's kind of hard to see on camera. The text doesn't show up. But this is the way I like to do a pocket stay. I designed this little way to do it with one layer of fabric at the center front because it kind of acts also as like a tummy panel. And I don't want to add extra bulk here at this seam, especially with the button fly. So I do one layer of fabric, and I showed how I did this in the cutting stream if you're interested, or you're making jeans or pants and you want a tummy panel. This pocket is still the same pocket piece. I didn't alter it in any way. I just added this stay and stitched it to it, and it's nice and flat. So it's turning out really good. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to finish. I've already done the button fly. It's hard to wait till Saturday to finish, but I'll try. Thanks for all of the machine recommendations. I've got them from all different angles, and I had a nice little list, and I did some research, and oh man, I just was like, I'm done doing research, just buy something. I have 30 days to change it if I want. So I ended up going with the Juki 1500 for the Coverstitch and a Juki MO 1000 for the Serger. Am I like this, you know, dyed-in-the-wool Juki fan? I'm not necessarily, but I feel like I can trust it. I've definitely been a huge Bernina fan as well. I've never had a Janome, but I know those are really great machines, and so many others. So, and Baby Lock, I've loved my Baby Lock, Coverstitch, and Serger as well. So yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with when you're researching it. My top 3 things that I wanted was something speedy, quiet, and sewed through thicknesses really well. And I looked for that for both machines. The quiet thing is probably not as important to most people, but on the camera, it does make a difference. I really don't want someone coming into my stream or my channel and just being kind of assaulted by that Serger noise, because it's kind of harsh on a video. So I'm hoping that I like the 654D. I really don't know machines. I sound like I know all the names and stuff of machines, but I don't. I really like the 654D Juki, and I think that would have been a perfect Serger. Totally great. As well as a couple others, and a few others, of course, other brands. It was just the noise thing. I just kind of thought, you know what? I'll bet that one's quieter. I'm going to go for it. Those two machines together still cost less than my Baby Lock Evolve did when I bought that, like, I don't know, almost 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So I'm doing pretty good financially with that kind of exchange, and I am going to sell my Evolve since it still works pretty darn good, you know? So I'm just ready for a change. So I really love the Coverstitch so far. I couldn't figure out how to get one of the loopers threaded on the side, but I figured it out, and it sews so beautifully. It's so quiet. It's such a pleasure. It feels really smooth and not at all like, you know how sometimes you go over a seam and you kind of go, you know, I don't feel that way at all with it. I'm really happy with it. It's a pretty simple machine. I think you can get a couple of other attachments for it, but not a whole lot. Not like my Baby Lock Evolve had a lot of attachments that I actually never used. Totally forgot about them until recently. So I have not opened my Serger box yet, but I will soon. Now that I know I have the Coverstitch going, I feel like I have permission to open up my Serger. I wanted to make sure that that machine was working before I opened the other one. I'm so busy right now. I can't even record videos. I'm between live streams and getting new things in the studio, and just keeping up right now. Oh man, I just really want to do all the things right now. I've been really inspired by, by you guys, and maybe making, more videos dedicated to pattern drafting based on our own block, like I was talking about on last Friday. And the other thing now with the Serger and the Coverstitch, I'm like, release the floodgates, let's do all the knits. And then in July, I do menswear in July, and this July I'm doing it for the entire month. And my stream's been giving me great suggestions. I'm super excited about that. So that'll be great. I've been listening and catching up with all the Punk Frockers episodes, and their podcast really inspires me. I feel like I love to sew. I love a lot of other things, but I like those two. They're like a really good juxtaposition with each other. Punk Rockers is like the after dark version of Love to Sew, because they are saying what we're all thinking. Love to Sew is so honest, though. I can't really. I'm not throwing shade on them. I love those gals. So I think I like Love to Sew is very educational and clear, and boy, and they hit the nail on the head every time you're looking for something. You're like, oh my gosh, I really needed this interfacing podcast this week. They really know what we need and how to go about it, and they're so down to earth about it. And then you have Punk Frockers, talking about bodies and pattern companies, and they are not pulling any punches, and I really like that kind of, I totally agree with Jenny saying, you know what, if you're not going to mention the company, it's a little bit passive aggressive, so you might as well, otherwise people are just going to go and look and see who I'm trying to talk about, so I might as well just say it, and I totally agree with that. But it can be, as a content creator, you are a little nervous to do that. You don't really want to make someone upset unless you get to have a conversation with them. And I know I am small potatoes, so I don't get that conversation that I want to have with people about certain things. So they are really inspiring me to, I'm always trying to make sure the patterns we sew are as inclusive as possible for sizing and things. And so that's just a good kick in the butt to keep doing that, because I really want to make sure everybody can sew what we're making, So I can sew whatever I want whenever I want, but hey, what I'm here for is to sew things with you guys and enjoy it, and it be a good experience, right? And if everyone can do it, it's a better experience. So anyway, that's what I'm up to this week. It's my birthday soon, and I think in May we're going to be doing a few things like some knit sewing, some of the blocks sewing, and I'm probably going to take some time to create some extra content and uploaded videos. And then in June, probably knits, and then July, menswear. By the end of August, we're all going to be sewing a blazer together. It's like a sew along we're going to do. If anyone wants to join, you're welcome to. You have plenty of time to get ready. I don't have my stuff yet either. So anyway, I hope this finds you really well. I still haven't had my first watermelon. Have you? Let me know. Let me know how it was. I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.